Hey, Steve Zick here. Welcome back to Poke Sue channel and the Guitar Ladder System. Not really doing a ton of buying and selling guitars. I mean, I've been buying and selling and collecting for over 30, 35 years at least. Used to have a ton of guitars. I do a very small amount of guitars nowadays. I don't have a lot of inventory, but the stuff that I do pick is really special. It's not bullshit. It's got a lot of magic, a lot of mojo, a lot of vibe. Because I really know guitars. I've been doing this a long time, and I know how to tell the ones. I've said this a million times, and it's true. The great guitars are few and far between. Some guitars just ring out, have great overtones, just have vibe, have magic, have mojo, crystalline, orchestral, resonant overtone vibes, and so it's interesting. But I've always been into John McLaughlin and Al Di Meola. In fact, John McLaughlin, his old album, My Goals Beyond, on Ovation, steel string was very inspirational to me. There's certain guitar players that motivated me to want to become a virtuoso level player. You put in that time like I did at 12 hours a day, 6 hours a day of scales. It takes that to really become, at that level. But anyway, John McLaughlin was one of the people that motivated me to want to, become an accomplished guitar player and put in all that work to do it, as well as Steve Howe was another motivating factor. Paco de Lucia, Al Di Meola, Carlos Montoya, Joe Pass. I actually studied with Joe Pass for a while. Pat Martino, George Benson, great players. I think Ian Keane, who co-produced my CD, said that, I just have a real love for the instrument. I think that's very true. But I recently, like I said, I'm not doing a lot of buying, but I kind of feel an attraction to certain guitars when I look at them wherever I'm looking, and some of them just seem to call to me, and this guitar seemed to call to me. I had a feeling this thing is special, and it really is. I really don't want to sell it. I guess if somebody makes me an offer, I can make a little money, I might, but I'm just being honest. But the thing about the Ovation, there's such a balance between, the guy that made the Ovations used to make helicopters, so he was pretty precise. But there's something about the Ovation. This one has a really great setup too, where it's a really fast neck, and if you have some technique, you can really fly on these things. I'm not completely warmed up right now, but I just thought I'd go ahead and do a short video because I haven't done one for a few days. And this is in a tuning where you make the low E a D, and then you make the G string an F sharp, and it gives you that nice. I learned this from Carlos Montoya. I really like it. It gives you some interesting chords too, like chords like this. Gives you some. In fact, I was doing something the last couple of days, kind of reminded me a little bit of Intermounting Flame. But anyway, this is a model 1616. Like I said, I really don't want to sell it. I love this guitar. It just sounds unreal. And it plays like a dream. I mean, if you have some technique, you can just fly on this thing. And that's what I was talking about with the balance of the neck and the way the neck's set into the body and the angle of the neck and the strings. It seems to really promote right hand and left hand technique, and I think that's why people like Al Di Meola and John McLaughlin, because it cooperates with your technique. This particular one has a repaired crack on the top, which is very common. I guess it was repaired by a store back east, I think Chicago Music Exchange. But what I love about this guitar, besides the fact that it sounds unbelievable and it just has a lot of mojo and magic and resonance, is the top has kind of got some bear claw. I'm not sure you can see it, but the top has got some bear claws in it. Anytime you get wood that's more figured, that wood tends to be more resonant as well. And at least that's my theory. You can argue with me if you want, but I've noticed most guitars that I've gotten that have some bear claw, whether it's like splotches like this or bigger pieces that kind of like super wide flame, just seems to have more resonance, you know. But this guitar really has a sound. Now on that lick, I actually used a little bit of this finger, I don't know if you heard it, to put like a second lick in there with the other lick. It's pretty, it's something I kind of discovered I could do, and it's hard, it's very difficult. You have to just go for it and hope it happens, you know. But when you do that, what you do is you kind of rest your first finger a little more over, you know, towards the strings and under the strings, and kind of get used to it flapping around, you know. But yeah, this is really neat guitar. I've sold Ovations before. Most of them were pretty good guitars, you know, but some of them just really have the magic, and this one really does. So I got to decide if I can let it go or not. You know, it's like every time I find something great, I let it go. I mean, I've had so many great guitars, but I'm thinking of doing an album. I'm thinking of doing an album of all nylon string guitar, and either solo or maybe a duo thing, maybe some band pieces. So I'm kind of contemplating if I can let this go. But I love chords like this. That's a really nice one. And this is when my McLaughlin influence comes in. You get things like... primordial soup harmonic logic. Like I wrote a song called Transformation that's on my CD, Transformer I think it is, or no, it's Transformation, and reviewed at Vintage Guitar Magazine. And I actually was able to get that tune to John McLaughlin, and I got lucky, and he heard it and liked it and thanked me for it. So that was a real thrill for me, because he's been a very big inspiration to me. But you can see the kind of chords you can do with this tuning is so cool. I just keep this guitar in this tuning, make the G an F sharp, make the low E a D. But when you're thinking of phrase, that's why when I practice, I'm not completely warmed up right now, but when I practice, I'll repeat painstakingly phrases. And then when you're thinking about playing that lick fast, you're not just thinking, but you're actually like a whole section. You're kind of firing that section. Kind of, it's like you take a snapshot of it and release it, you know. But yeah, some of these Ovations really are very nice, and it's got a really nice mid-range. But anyway, I just thought I'd show this guitar. I've only had it a few days, but I really freaking love it. It takes me about an hour to warm up. I think I'm about 50% right now. I try to spend an hour or two a day just, you know, but But anyway, this is an Ovation 1616. It sounds unbelievable. Like I said, this piece of wood on the top is really sweet. I honestly don't know if I can sell this or not. I'm thinking about it, but anyway, it really sounds good, and it's got a beautiful setup. Usually when I get Ovations, the setup's okay, but somebody really dialed this in that knew what they were doing, because it just plays beautiful. It's got a nice, comfortable action. The action's low, but not too low. You can still get a nice nice bounce off of it, you know. Anyway, I got to figure out where I can let this go. If you want a sample of the guitar ladder system, just send me an email, stevezook7@yahoo.com. That's Steve, STEVEZOOK, the number 7, not spelled out, at yahoo.com. You know, I've been wanting to do, I do impersonations, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Maybe I'll just throw a couple out right now. No, I'm going to do it on a separate video. I'll do a Anyway, I just wanted to show this guitar. It's a beaut. I've been working on stuff like this is hard. I'm not very warmed up. Anyway, I decided to show this. All right, take care. I need a vacation.